Hi, my name is Mark Yazinchuk. I'm a teaching artist with the Center for Arts Inspired Learning, and we're here for Summer Lit League. This is week 4, What If I Lived Under the Ocean? We're going to do a collage today, and I've started just with scraps of paper, and again, I got this at the dollar store. I got more than this, in fact, at the dollar store that I'm using for this. And I happen to like betta fish. While they don't live in the ocean, they do live in the water. They're kind of flamboyant and glittery and showy, so I thought that they would be a good fish to create with a collage. You could trace it with a pencil if you wanted a specific shape of the betta, but I kind of use my imagination with them. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a betta fish shape. And you don't have to cut out the whole body and the fins. What I usually do is cut the body of the fish and then add on the fins as part of the collage. The betta fish are kind of thin, but then they have a big flurry, big fluffy kind of fin at the end. So I'm going to cut that out separately. And I'm not going to glue things together until about halfway through. I'm going to cut out the shapes first. I'm going to play around with it to see which way it looks better. This packet came with all these different color papers, and so you can really find some nice contrasting papers and also papers with different textures. Most of the papers are pretty thick, so they work really well for collaging. Yeah, so I want a little bit of gold behind that, so instead of cutting the little sliver of gold, I'm going to hide it behind the red piece of paper. It looks like a chef's hat right now, but I assure you that by the time it all gets put together, it'll look like a fish. So there's glue stick glue, which is good for some of the thinner papers, and this yellow paper is a thinner paper. It sticks pretty good. But with this thicker, textured, richly colored construction paper, I'm going to need something a little bit thicker, and the glue that I brought with me today is glow-in-the-dark glue. And if a little glue shows, that's okay. It's easy to cover it up at the end. I also brought some glitter glue, and again, I also have the glow-in-the-dark glue that has the glitter in it too. I also brought a paper punch, so I'm going to punch out in a circle. Betta have perfectly circular eyes. I also brought a bamboo skewer. If I put a little bit of glue on it, and put just a little bit on there, and that makes it a tacky tool to move. And while betta fish aren't really known for their spots, I'm going to add some spots to this fish. A lot of fish in the ocean use spots as a way to camouflage the shape of their body because the spots look like eyes, so it either makes them look bigger or it makes them look like they're facing the other direction. So if a smaller fish needs to swim away quicker, the bigger fish is thinking that it's pointing in the other direction, so it may not get it. Well, they have gills, but they don't use them like other fish. They have lungs like we do, and so they have to breathe from the air to survive in the water. They always kind of look grumpy too. They were like the original grumpy looking animal. Before that, like grumpy cat. And you could use newspapers, you could use magazine clippings, you could use notepads. You could really use anything. You could use striped notebook paper and color it. You could create texture on it. In fact, I have a glitter marker, again from the dollar store. It might be a little early to do this, but add some color to this. The bettas you get in a store don't look like the bettas that were originally found in the wild. They're a lot bigger, a lot more flamboyant. And the nice thing about using thicker paper is that you can draw a lot more on it. It kind of holds up to using markers on it more, holds up to using crayons or oil pastel. It would hold up to paint too. So there's my betta fish. It's definitely he's grumpy looking, but he's decorative. I started by making a collage betta out of paper, and now I'm just gonna show you how to do a betta fish like this on an app called Autodesk. It's a drawing app. It's for Apple or Android phones or devices, and it's got this neat little device. It comes with a lot of different pen types, unlimited range of color. So you're going to use this little camera app right here, and it's called Time Lapse. And it only takes pictures while you're working, which is the nice thing. So I'm done with that, and now I'm gonna stop the animation. This is one that I did the other day. This week we made betta fish, collaged betta fish, and we also worked on Autodesk and created an animation there of a betta fish. Thanks for watching, and see you next week. Bye-bye.